Hey guys, Oxy here. In an attempt to keep more active on my channel, um, for one reason, I'm going to I'm gonna start making tutorials. One of the reasons why I'm doing this is because my two best friends in real life, they want to start editing, and they don't know how to. So I'm basically just gonna do tutorials that are broken down into different videos that progressively get harder so they can follow along and learn how to do stuff. And another reason is I'm debating on if I should quit trickshotting or not, because I switched houses and I now do not hit anything because of my connection. So yeah, this tutorial is basically the finished version is going to look somewhat like this with music and everything. I just didn't add the music because I'm lazy. But these are just all effects that they wanted to see, which is TWIXTOR, CC lens, optics, compensation, radio blur, twitch, and magic bullet looks, and exposure and fade effects. But I'm just gonna break it down into videos, and this video is going to be about how to use TWIXTOR, and some simple tricks and tips that I use that help a lot. One of them being is that if you have a bad computer, or even if you just want to RAM preview stuff faster, this quarter right here, or it's going to be set to full, which is full quality. As you can see, the quality will get better right there. If you set it to quarter, it's not going to reduce the quality in the final version. It's just going to make it so it RAM previews a lot faster. What's another one? Oh, this is what it looks like. This is what that clip looks like. This is the same thing. As you can see, it's the same thing, but this is how it looks when you edit it. But this version right here, it's just pre-composed, which basically when you edit something, the composition is automatically saved under where the clips show up. So it's like right here, so all you have to do is drag it down to a new thing, and it's all pre-composed right here for you. So that helps a lot if you're editing an episode. You don't feel like editing each clip and then rendering it and whatnot. You can just do that and then drag this version into the main composition. Another trick is these things right here, they're not there for no reason. They show After Effects where you want to start RAM previewing, or where you want it to end, or where you want your composition to end, and where you want the RAM preview, or where you want the rendering to start. And yeah, say if I wanted to see this, how the CC lens, I could drag this over here, and instead of RAM previewing the whole thing, to save time, I can just drag it over and start RAM previewing to, like, from the part what I want to see, and then just drag it back out before you render, or to a different spot where you want to see something. RAM previewing, if you don't know what that is, it's this little button right here. It uses your random access memory, which is RAM, and it uses it to preview it before you render it, and the more RAM you have, the faster it will do it. Like I have 8 gigabytes of RAM. Some computers have 2, some computers have 4, some computers have 8, some have 16, some have 24, which is, I think, if you have 24 gigabytes of RAM, you're just showing off at that point because you don't really need that much. You're probably compensating for your small penis if you have 24 gigabytes of RAM. But alright, so what I do first is I cut my clips in, hold on, get this back. I cut my clips inside of Sony Vegas. You can also RAM preview in Sony Vegas. If you highlight the whole thing and click Control B, it starts RAM previewing it. But I cut my clips to where I want them in Sony Vegas just because it's easier for me. See, like how it stops right here, that's where I want the TWIXTOR to stop in After Effects and stuff. I basically just do that, and then I put it into Sony Vegas. After I do that, you have the clip, and you just bring it down to this button right here, and you want to make the composition longer, I would say by like 5 or 10 seconds. So I'm just gonna make this 15 seconds long, and this also zooms in on a timeline so you can see closer the clip. You can get more exact with the frames, so they go exactly 1 frame and stuff like that. Basically, to start TWIXTOR, you're going to want to hit this button, which enables frame blending for all frames, and you want to find where you want the TWIXTOR to start, which is like right here. So I'm just gonna go and do layer, new, adjustment layer, and I'm gonna type in TWIXTOR, and you're gonna drag in the pro version, and don't, like right here it says 59.940. You want to make sure frame rate is at 59.940. You want to change motion weight blend on frame interpretation, and inverse with smart blend on warping. And under main BG layer settings, change it to 60. FG1 settings, change it to 60, and then alpha. And don't really worry about this or follow me on this. I'll be sure to gyazo the settings and post them in the description of this video. Find where you want it to start and bring down this down and bring down output control, and find where you want the TWIXTOR to start. So I'm gonna say like right here. Basically, to make it start right there, is you're gonna keyframe it at 100 right there, which is you hit the stopwatch to start keyframing it. You're gonna move one frame forward, one frame, and bring it down to the speed that you want to. And as soon as you change it, it'll automatically keyframe. This little diamond right here shows that if it's highlighted, it shows that there's a keyframe there. And drag it to where you want it to end, which is where I cut the clip, which is like right here. And keyframe it, move forward one frame, and go back to 100. And as you can see, there's the TWIXTOR right there. And then you don't want to have TWIXTOR on the whole clip. You don't want to have like all this setting on the whole clip just because it will distort it. So basically find before the TWIXTOR started. So I'm going to cut it like right here and click the adjustment layer they have the TWIXTOR on, go to edit and split the layer, and then delete the layer that doesn't have TWIXTOR on it, but as you can see the TWIXTOR is still there, and do the same thing at the end where the TWIXTOR stops roughly. Just split the layer and delete the one that doesn't have it. So basically it's just going to look like this. The reason you do that is if you leave TWIXTOR on the whole thing, most of the time if the clip wasn't cut right or something, it will have wavy black bars and it will be all distorted and it wouldn't look good at all. So yeah, as you can see, now that you TWIXTOR something and you slow it down tremendously, you made the clip longer, but see, you can see the clip ends a little bit short right here. To fix that, click on the bottom clip and go to layer, time, enable timer mapping, and drag it forward, and you can see that the clip is like back to normal or whatever. And find where you want the TWIXTOR to start again. I'm gonna say right here once again, and go to layer, new, adjustment layer, drag in TWIXTOR. This is all just repeated. Do the same settings, 59.940, motion weighted blends, inverse with smart blend. Change this down to 60. Change this down to 60. Make it alpha, and you're all good. And then do the same thing you did before. This is just easy. Keyframe it. Go forward 1. Bring it down to 3. You can use whatever speed you want, but I find the lower speeds have less distortion. And keyframe it again where you want it to stop, and then go one forward, and then go back to 100, and then do the same thing. Just make sure you cut the clip or split the clip so the TWIXTOR isn't on the whole thing. I'm just gonna end it right here. Split layer. Oh, make sure you only have the adjustment layer selected, and I'm just gonna cut these so this is the same time so I don't get confused in the later tutorials. Alright, you don't have to do that, but now that you have your whole thing together, you can RAM preview it and see that the clip is TWIXTORed, and there's not really that much distortion. You can play around the settings to see what you want, but that's one way of doing it. That's the way I do it. You want to try to TWIXTOR places that don't have a lot of movement. Say you can do falling, but say if you're like falling and spinning and looking upwards and all that shit, it's just gonna look horrible. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and save this tutorial 1, and so I can continue with that later. And be sure to look out for the next tutorials. They'll be coming out soon. And yeah, peace.